Netflix's Adolescence has taken the world by storm in recent weeks, with this high-stakes thriller facilitating important discussions about the toxic ideology that young boys are facing every day on social media. The story follows a young boy named Jamie, who stands accused of murdering a female student after being bullied online. While the details are entirely fictional, the story of Adolescence is inspired by the troubling rise in violent crime among young boys, much of which can be pinned down to the toxic culture of masculinity on social media and in schools. Instead of delving into the details of Jamie's crime and investigating whether or not he's guilty, which many shows like Adolescence would have done, this drama takes the much more important approach of asking why. It asks some crucial questions about the dangerous world that young boys are growing up in, one that many parents aren't even aware of. The show has triggered discussions about online worlds that children often keep hidden from their parents, such as the subtle meanings behind specific emojis and the so-called manosphere movement. Why Adolescence Episode 3 is so good. The show takes a much-needed step back for an hour. Each episode of Adolescence certainly has its strengths, but Episode 3 stands out as one of the show's most impressive feats. While there's less action and fewer camera tricks than in previous episodes, the quality of the writing and the pure emotion of Owen Cooper and Erin Doherty's performances are enough to keep audiences on the edge of their seats from start to finish. The use of tension in this episode is what makes it work so well, as both characters undergo huge emotional changes as the story progresses, allowing their feelings to ultimately boil over into conflict. There are very few things quite as exciting in television as watching two actors bounce off each other like Cooper and Doherty do in Adolescence, and the show understands that their chemistry is more than enough to keep this episode alive. It doesn't insert any unnecessary action or plot twists to reward the viewer's patience, but rather trusts that these two actors are enough to carry the episode on their shoulders. The way their dynamic constantly shifts, starting off somewhat friendly and exploding into conflict in several key moments, perfectly displays the show's message about how impressionable young boys are. What Adolescence Episode 3 is really about. The episode explores some deep and timely ideas. Episode 3 of Adolescence serves a very clear purpose. It's the moment that audiences realize Jamie isn't the calm and innocent boy that he pretends, but rather someone whose mind has been corrupted by the ongoing incel movement on social media. While the first episode spends plenty of time creating sympathy for Jamie by showing his sudden arrest and subsequent emotions, this episode forces him to come face to face with the consequences of his actions, and his innocent facade cracks under the pressure. While the first two episodes of Adolescence push the plot forward by revealing Jamie's crime and delving into the specifics of his murder weapon and accomplices, the third episode takes a brief step back and focuses on Jamie's character. Instead, it's the first time that viewers get to hear his story from his own perspective, which gradually reveals the show's true message about how young boys can be so easily corrupted by toxic social media influencers and develop a skewed perception of the world around them. Adolescence Episode 3 was shockingly Owen Cooper's first acting performance. The young actor's first performance is one of the year's best. It's been widely reported that Adolescence was the first time Owen Cooper had acted in front of cameras, but what's even more surprising is that Episode 3 was the first one to be filmed. This means that Cooper's interactions with Erin Doherty's character were some of the first lines he ever read on set, making the overwhelming acclaim of this episode even more impressive. The show's creators have spoken frequently about wanting a new actor who hadn't been through drama school in order to capture a raw, less refined performance, and that's exactly what audiences see in Adolescence's third episode. The acting performances are one of the many reasons that Adolescence's reviews are so great, and Episode 3 features the best of the bunch. While lead actor Stephen Graham is notably absent from the episode, the decision to have just two actors on set for the majority of the runtime was an intelligent one that allowed the characters to open up and be vulnerable in ways that wouldn't otherwise have been possible. With its sharp writing, fierce acting, and slow pacing, Episode 3 of Adolescence is the perfect palate cleanser after the first two stressful episodes and before the emotional finale.